Expiration dates on milk. Let's talk about that.
Man Up with Mark. Mark talks about everything under the sun. You may agree with him, and again, you may not.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is a dumbass subject to talk about.
That's right.
But I thought, what the hell? It's something that I had questions about. Something that concerned me. Is it life-threatening? Is it gonna be the end of the world if I can't figure it out?
It's the end of the world as we know it.
No. But it's just shit that makes you go, Any rate, buying milk a while back, and the wife and I, always would buy a gallon of milk. I don't know, got into the habit. Ever since we had, all the kids in the house, and once we slowly got rid of all of them, we kept on buying milk for whatever purpose we wanted to have milk for, and we always kept on buying gallons of milk.
Logical.
And, gallons of milk expire within like 2 weeks that you buy it. I mean, to the point where, you open that thing up after about 2 weeks in the refrigerator and it smells a little funky. So, I was in the grocery store the other day.
Bit of fuss down at the church the other day.
The wife and I were getting groceries, and I said, do we need some milk? And she said, yeah, grab some milk. Do we have to buy a gallon? And I said, well, no, we don't need to buy a gallon. And I was looking in the reach-in coolers and seeing all the different kinds of milks and different sizes. And this was a while ago. But at any rate, I'm looking at them, and there's a gallon, and there's the half gallon, and there's the quart, and then there's the even smaller than the quart, I guess a pint or whatever you'd want to call it. Or even some of them are now in liter form, however much a liter is. Any rate, I'm looking at all the different milks, and I'm looking at them, and I notice...
Notice what?
That the quart size had like a 2-month expiration date on it. And I thought to myself, this is weird. I've never noticed that before. I looked at the gallon of milk, and it had its normal, expires within 2 weeks or so. And I looked back at the quart, and that's 2 months from now. Then I looked at the half gallon, and, that was a little bit longer than 2 weeks. Maybe it was 3 weeks or so, not much longer. But the quart was definitely different. And I thought to myself, well, milk is milk. Why is it 2 months good in a quart bottle and only 2 weeks good in a gallon bottle? Well, I had to Google that. This is what the Google says. The expiration date of milk depends on the type of pasteurization used and can vary between different types of milk. And I understand that. If you've got, oat milk or almond milk or goat milk or chicken milk. What? Have you ever milked a chicken? At any rate, I started thinking to myself, okay, just regular, good old, plain old, white pasteurized milk. Don't mean to be racist. But I started looking at it, and it says here that there's the standard gallon of milk is pasteurized using high temperature, short time method, which has a shelf life of about 19 days. Okay, a little bit longer than 2 weeks, but by the time, you get to the grocery store and they stock it and you reach your hand in and grab a gallon of milk, it's probably about 2 weeks. And then there's the extended shelf life milk. This milk is also known as ultra pasteurized. Not just pasteurized, but ultra pasteurized. That's fucking awesome. And that has a shelf life of 30 to 90 days. So, my thinking is...
What do you think?
It's not necessarily the size of the container, it's the type of pasteurizing. Their reason for pasteurizing the smaller quantities in ultra pasteurizing versus standard pasteurizing in the gallon size is because they figure, the companies out there figure that when you're buying gallons of milk, that means you have more people drinking that milk and you use it up faster, so you don't have to have that long of a expiration period. I don't get that. I just don't get it. If you've got the capability of doing the ultra pasteurizing, which obviously they do, because one brand has all of these different sizes of containers, so they must have the equipment to do the ultra pasteurizing no matter what size container they put it in. So what if you're using a lot of milk because you have a lot of people? If you have a longer expiration time, I figure it'd last longer in the store. You wouldn't have to rotate the stock so much. Milk wouldn't get wasted. It baffles me. Do any of you out there have an idea on why this is done? It baffles me.
Said that already!
They also have ultra high time or long life milk. Yeah. This milk can last up to 9 months in the pantry. You can stick it in the pantry. But, once you open it, you got to use it within 7 days. There's got to be a reason for that, too. I don't know what it is.
There's a reason for everything.
In general, unopened milk that has been stored properly can remain good for 5 to 7 days past the listed date. So, even though it says, expiration date X, you got another week or so before you start smelling the stink. So they say. Once it hits that expiration date, I'm kind of leery. I toss it. But at any rate, it just interests me that the expiration date on milk, basic, general, run-of-the-mill, white pasteurized milk, cow milk, moo-moo cow milk, has these different pasturations for different size containers. So let me know what you guys think. Throw me a comment. Let me know if, 3 different types of pasteurization is good. Or, why don't we do just one? Make it simple. Make the milk last a little bit longer. It's kind of the way I think. Let me know what you think. Also, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for this podcast. And if you would be so kind, please donate to my Patreon. That's patreon.com/manupwithmark. I would truly appreciate it. Well, that's it for today. See ya.
If you have a question or comment, email Mark at manupwithmark.com.